Hi, Aubrey. How are you today?
I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking. How are you?
All right. How have things been since the last time we met?
Um, Things are okay. I don't feel like I'm in as rough of a space as far as the depression and anxiety I was feeling last time based on how I thought I was performing at work. But I definitely notice I still carry that sense of depression and hopelessness with me and the anxiety with me each day at the office. And I just feel like I'm always nervous to like make a mistake or like I'm going to be, yelled at by someone. So I walk around on edge all the time.
Okay. Well, it's good to hear that, you know, not as anxious or depressed as you were when we first met. But
Hmm.
I definitely want to definitely help you with the depression and the anxiety that you're carrying around every day. So the basis of today's uh, visit is we're going to touch a little more on what what might be causing the depression and the anxiety. And then we're going to set up a treatment plan for further appointments. And then our next visit, we'll try to implement some of the interventions that will help our reach our goals in our treatment plan.
Okay, that
Okay,
sounds
that
good.
sounds okay?
Hmm.
Okay. So you just said to me that you feel that you kind of feel like you kind of walk on edge or walk on eggshells when you're at work.
Hmm.
Why do you think you feel that you're so nervous to make a
Yeah,
mistake?
yeah. I try to think about it a lot, but I think it just kind of stems to a fear of failure. Um, and just kind of like a little background too, I grew up, I have a close relationship with both parents, but my mom would be very explosive and, you could hear when she's angry. So I think I've always been anxious around that of anticipating when the next blow up would be. Um, and then with my dad, he's ex-military and he likes things in a certain order or like done in a certain way. So I guess between the two, it just never quite felt like I measured up to the expectations that they had, which always resulted in, yelling or anger or just loud volume. So I feel like I kind of internalize that as saying like I messed up and like I'm bad for that. And it kind of feels the same way of around here is, at work, where I don't want to make a mistake because then I feel like I didn't meet expectations again. And I kind of internalize those experiences like I'm not good enough.
Okay. Unfortunately, many parents set these high expectations for their children and then get upset when they feel that they did not meet their expectations. I want you to think of one thing is you are human and you're going to make a mistake. That is a human response to a lot of things is humans make mistakes and there's nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
we should not worry about other people's expectations of ourselves, but our own expectations for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only person that knows what abilities we have and what we can achieve is ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And if people in our lives can't support that, that's kind of on them. You can't set these high expectations and expect everybody to meet them
Mm-hmm.
because not everybody's on that same learning curve or anything like that. Okay.
Yeah.
But what I want to try when it comes to your feeling like you're going to make a mistake is I would love to work with you on some coping skills that when you start to get anxious about making the mistake, you can walk away, use those coping skills to relax yourself, and then go back.
I think that sounds pretty good. I think I definitely can struggle with what I do with myself or with those emotions when it's peak, escalation or when those emotions are strong. I definitely tend to sit in them, I think, a little bit too long, which can be a little bit more debilitating for sure. So I think coping skills could work well.
Okay. Another thing I want to work on is I want a little bit more of your background also because you've shared more when it came with to your relationship with your parents. So I think there's a lot we can build off of with that too.
Mm-hmm.
So each session just give me a little bit more that we can build off of
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to overload you everything and be like, all right, give me all your information.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, I know that would cause anxiety for me. I don't want that for you. We already know there's an anxiety level that peaks. We don't want it to peak while you're with me. So we're going to slowly get the information little by little because I don't want to overwhelm you.
Okay.
All right. How does that sound?
Sounds good. I think that
Okay.
I think that could work well for sure.
And as we're getting more of the more of the information, we can try different techniques of deep breathing. We can try um, different therapy techniques that could help deal with some of, I guess you can call the stuff that you have dealt with your parents a sort of trauma because yelling and fighting and all that can be very traumatic, especially for a kid. And a lot of kids can carry that with them. And the minute they feel like they're not doing what they're supposed to when they're older, it
Mm-hmm.
triggers back to that, which is
Mm-hmm.
what it kind of sounds like is happening with you.
A little bit, yeah. Definitely think it's a learned response for sure.
Okay. But again, like I said, you're in a unique situation because you're in this field.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you
Mm-hmm.
know not everybody's perfect
Mm-hmm.
because we see it every day with our clients.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to end it there. And then for next week, we're going to try some in coping skills and see how those work when you start to feel very, very anxious, and come up with some other interventions as we get more background information.
Sounds good.
All right.
Mhm.
I will see you next time.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care.
You too.